G'day, welcome back to Maxi Chats. We're up in the big smoke in Brisbane and we're sitting down having a cup of tea with Amy List. Amy's the Boeing Defence Australia Managing Director. Heaps of Aussies work for Boeing Defence Australia and there's over 1,000 military veterans actually work for Boeing. Super interesting how they support the Aussie supply chain in our defence industry. I hope you enjoy this one. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Amy List, the Managing Director of Boeing Defence Australia. Amy, that's a really impressive job title, but what is your actual role and responsibilities?
Well, thanks. It's awesome to be here with you, Maxi. Go back a long way, so it's nice to sit down and have a chat. Being the Managing Director of Boeing Defence Australia it's actually an enormous privilege. I never thought I'd get here. Love coming to work every day. Get to oversee 3,300 incredible individuals who do everything in their power to keep our aircraft flying, to design, develop new capabilities for the ADF. We support Singapore and New Zealand as well. So I just have to make sure that I remove all the barriers for the team so that they can run off and go do their job.
Amy, what is your career journey and your background?
So, as you know, I started in the Royal Australian Air Force as an aeronautical engineer, joined the Air Force to see the world, got posted back home to Adelaide, which made my mum happy. P3s was where I grew up being in the military, you get all sorts of really diverse experience, which helped me out a lot. When it was the right time to get out of the military, I did some consulting for a really short period of time before joining Raytheon. Good introduction to working in the industry side of defence and had worked in sea, land, all sorts of different projects there before the opportunity came back to get back into aerospace at a platform level and joined Boeing back in 2018.
Okay. Amy, tell us one personal, one professional, and one peculiar fact about yourself.
It's one personal fact. I'm a mother of 2 teenagers and a dog. On any given day, you can probably guess who the favourite is. Professional fact, yeah, I'm an aeronautical engineer. I wouldn't let me near a calculator anymore, but that's my grounding. Peculiar fact, as a teenager and in my early 20s, I was a volleyballer. I was in the state volleyball team. Still occasionally get the ball out, but again, no good anymore.
Amy, our audience want to know the answer to this question. Can you tell us 2 truths and 1 lie?
All right. I studied to become a teacher. I'm a complete history nerd, and I really love competing and training for triathlons.
They could all be true. We'll work that out afterwards. I'm going to ask you, R.M. Williams or Blundstones, which one and why? Well,
I'm a South Australian, I said before, and if it's one thing you can guarantee for South Australians, we are a parochial bunch. So grew up not too far from the RM factory. RM's all the way for me.
Good on you. Tell us a bit about Boeing's story. A lot's going on, Ghostbat, Apache. What are you girls and guys working on?
We're working on all sorts of things right across the country. So we've got 3,300 people, as I said before, 14 sites, and some people in New Zealand as well. Ghostbat is truly exciting. We've been continuing on with our test program and super proud of that team. But really the foundation of our business is that sustainment operations area where we've got all the Boeing platforms around the country that we've got to keep flying for the ADF every day. That's relentless, and they do a fantastic job. We then also are really proud of the development work we're doing for Army in the land comm space with Project Currawong, making sure that the Army can do the comms they need. We're expanding that out into Navy. And then also we've got the E7 business, which is not only keeping the E7 flying, doing truly important things that you would have seen in the news recently, but also preparing it for the future threats as well.
Amy, how do you collaborate and innovate with Australian suppliers?
The Australian supplier base is truly exceptional. We've got some fantastic companies here that have come out of nowhere and created capabilities that the world wants. An example is Apache. Even though it's a platform that's been flying for a really long time, there's technology that's being built here in Australia that's going straight back into the US and getting incorporated into Apache aircraft through the Global Supply Chain Program. But one of the things I love about my job is discovering these incredible companies, and I'd get to go out and visit them occasionally. I can think of one down in South Brisbane that do some wiring harnesses for us. Small company, no more than 20 employees, but the pride that they take in building those wiring harnesses that are essential to connecting the pieces of technology I didn't realise how complicated it was until I got there, but there's these pockets of exceptionalism right across the country, and I really view it as the duty of us as primes to go and find them, help them, and get that technology to the world.
Tell us about this Boeing Capability Uplift program.
Yeah, it's something that we're really proud of. It's a specific program that's been created to identify some suppliers where we've got gaps. So we might need a wiring harness company, we might need some cyber resilience, or we might need a whole range of different suppliers. We've put 35 Australian suppliers through this program already. Another 8 will graduate in November. The purpose of the program is to help familiarise them with defence. There's some fairly big barriers to entry in terms of security, in terms of ITAR rules, quality requirements, aerospace requirements. So we help them through that. We also provide some training in program management, leadership, other areas of business acumen that small companies simply can't afford to provide for their own staff. Some of the benefits that I hear from them are not only what they learn technically in the structured lessons with us, but they get to network as well and learn from each other. So I'm really excited about the program. We're going to continue on. We're looking at the participants for the 2026 alumni group. And I hope if you get a chance to go and talk to some of the suppliers who are doing it, you can get some feedback directly from them.
Yeah, we'll do. Amy, you've got 3,300 really highly skilled employees under your sort of leadership. How do you build and motivate your team?
It's one of the big challenges of leadership is how to connect with people. And I think when I am able to have a one-on-one conversation with people, you can learn, you can build trust, you can listen. That gets really hard with a large company. We've had a lot of emphasis this year on Boeing's culture, on our values and behaviours. I was lucky enough to be involved in defining these for the whole company, which was really exciting. But what I'm finding is when you can unite everybody behind a common purpose, when you can make sure it's really, really clear what the expected behaviours are, and then make sure that you're really intentional about recognising the good behaviours, but also calling out the not so good behaviours. That's how you can build a great culture amongst a team and people come to work in a place they love doing what they do.
Amy, there's a lot of rumours about defence industry and that most people in defence industry have no sense of humour. Is this true?
Yes. Zero sense of humour, Maxi.
This is true. And in the same theme, we are both proud graduates of the Australian Defence Force Academy. Can you confirm the other rumour going around that the 1999 graduating class is by far the best class ever?
I have heard from very reputable sources, Maxi, that class of 99, unsurpassed, the very best class that's ever graduated.
Well, we're going to agree on that one. What's one of the toughest professional decisions you've ever had to make?
Look, there's a lot of decisions that you make each and every day in a job like this. The most difficult ones are the ones that are about people. They're the ones that you can't undo. Once you've had to make a really difficult decision that impacts a person's life, I take those really personally. They're the ones that I lose sleep over. And I know as well when my team need to make those decisions that they need that extra support. It's always about the people.
Amy, if you were a defence capability, which one would you be and why?
It's an interesting question. I think if I could be one defence capability, I might be a satellite.
Ooh.
You're up in space, it's quiet, you get to peer down on the globe and see what's happening right across the world, connecting everybody. Absolutely vital. If we lose our satellites, a whole range of capabilities go down. I'd love to experience that.
I've always thought you've had a view for the big picture, so that does not surprise me. If you could spend one day inside any defence capability or with any global defence force, which one would it be and why?
Now at the other end of the spectrum, if I could spend one day in anything, I think I'd go for a submarine. It's something that I've had no exposure to, but they're critical. It always seems a bit dark and mysterious. I'm sure Sean Connery isn't on every submarine, but that's my reality. And so I'd love to learn what they do deep down in the ocean.
Amy, in my experience, you've always been available for people. You continue to mentor people. You meet with people. You help people. You did it for me and our business, the Decisive Point, in the early days of our business. and I hear you're still supporting others. Why do you do this, and how do you have time to do this?
Well, you make time for your priorities, right? It's not easy, and trying to manage a calendar is a constant battle. But like all of us, we're not tech companies, we're not defence companies, we're people companies. We do nothing unless we can get the right people in the right jobs and inspire them to do more than they thought was capable. And that's about building a team. It's about understanding what other companies are out there full of great people that we can work together. And so things work when you can build trust. You can only build trust through connecting with people, having these sort of chats. And so it's just truly important. And I really enjoy doing it. It's where I get a lot of my energy from my job for. And I hope that those people that I talk to enjoy it on the other end as well.
No, shout out. Obviously, a number of my colleagues have told me how they've reached out, you take time and you give mentorship to them. So obviously that's a great lesson for others in the industry. If you can make time, perhaps other people can do too. Amy, post Air Force, something for our listeners and our viewers might not know, you actually ran your own business. So you've walked a day in the shoes as a business owner. You know how hard it is to have sales, get quality staff, and really also how tough Australian defence industry business can be. Now you're the boss of a major prime, one of the biggest in Australia. What would your message be to SMEs, mum and dad pop shops who are sort of right now going, oh, is defence industry the place for our business? Should we move to mining sector or other areas? What would your message be?
Yeah, great question. And I'll start with a couple of cautionary messages. Defence is cyclical. We see that. And it also can take a really long time. There are barriers to entry, as I mentioned before. And so it's important that you go into defence industry being really intentional that it's a place you want to be in, and make sure you build your networks and that you really tie in, and you've got to be all in if you want to go into defence. Why that's worth it going all in? I mean, what we do is so important. It is easy to come to work every day in a business like this with the teams we work with because we've got a mission that everybody can get behind. At Boeing, our mission is to connect, protect and explore the world, and every defence company has similar missions, which is about supporting the ADF and making sure that they're protecting our nation. So I don't think that there's a nobler mission to get up for your business in the morning. So it is worth it, but go in really intentionally knowing that there are challenges.
Amy List, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Maxi. Always great to chat.